Welcome. Glad you can be here with us this afternoon. We've got Dani Duck with us.
Hi.
And Traci VanWagoner right there.
Hi.
And I'm Mark Mitchell. We've got the whole continent, whole U.S. continent, or North America, I should say, more accurately, covered here today. We've got Traci in New York City. We've got Dani in British Columbia. Yes. And I'm in the center part. I'm in the Austin, Texas area. And in a minute, we hope to have Mira on from Sacramento. So we're tilting toward the Pacific, I guess, a little bit. But we're real excited to have our group with us today. We're going to learn all about Smart Dummies from its founder, Dani Duck. Several of my students have already been participated in Smart Dummies before. And so we all kind of sort of know each other, and hopefully we'll all get to know each other a little better before our time is over. We'll go for an hour. Please feel free to post your comments and questions and links, whatever you want to share in the comments box. Dani, I'm going to turn it over to you so you can further introduce Traci.
Hi. This is Traci, and she was with us last year for Smart Dummies, and she's also here this year. So I thought it would be a good idea to bring her on to this Google Hangout. I also brought in Mira because she was also with us last year and will be here with us this year. It was just such an honor to work with both of them. They were so great getting everything to me. I just can't tell you how wonderful it was having them.
Mira is the director and founder of the Children's Book Academy. So she is the teacher of children's book writing and illustrating. Did you guys know each other beforehand, before the Smart Dummies last year?
Sort of. I mean, I can't even remember. I honestly, there's so many people that I meet through these Facebook groups. I can't honestly.
Yeah,
I know I've gone to some of her webinars. It might have been through the 12 by 12 that I first saw one of the webinars, but I really could not tell you where I had actually met.
Yeah, it is funny how the human brain has not really evolved to handle so many Facebook friends. We're really hardwired to really only know 60 or 70 people, going back to primitive times. So Facebook's kind of unnatural. I guess now our brains are going to grow to handle all that extra. How do you differentiate Smart Dummies from a group like 12 by 12 or some of the other dummy challenges that are out there online? And we're not comparing contrast. Well, we're comparing contrasting. We're not weighing the merits of different programs. But what is your place in that constellation of dummy events?
Well, I found that when I started thinking about what event I wanted to do, I kind of wanted something that was for illustrators, that was more weighted towards illustration, because most things, the 12 by 12 is wonderful, but it's a little bit slated towards the writers, which is great. And I absolutely love Julie's event. It's absolutely fantastic. But I wanted something a little more for illustrators. I wanted something that you could get done in a month. And what is it? The Kidlet Art Group. They do a great event that starts in January, runs through half the year, and it's another great event. But it's not something that you can do in a month.
It's another free event too, isn't it?
Free event, yes, It's a free event, and it's great. And I think I have not really been able to participate in it. I'm hoping to participate in it next year because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's
nice people working it and such longevity with the group. Yeah. Well, so, I mean, the illustrator can learn a lot by participating in these kinds of events for no investment except their time and attention and
there's so many great ones for writers. There's the Picture Book Idea Month, which is changing now. Tara's said that, I just got an email saying that she's changing the event.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what she does. It's going to be in January this year. So we'll see how that works out. And I like the Chapter Book Challenge. Not many people know about that. That's for writers, and it's a much shorter event than the Novel Writing Month. It's just like a shorter event in, I think it's March, I've got it
Okay.
on my website. I've got a whole list of things on my website so you can see all the different challenges that are going on. But I think that one's a great one to do in a month too. But I wanted something for illustrators that can be done in a month that would help them. A lot of them are great. I'm going to go back and say a lot of them are great. Like the 52-week challenge, Illustration Fridays, they're all great,
Uh-huh.
but they don't necessarily prepare you. Just you're making more illustrations for your portfolio, but they don't necessarily prepare you to send things in to be submitted to
To audition at a publishing house.
a publishing house or an agent. It doesn't necessarily prepare you for that. And I wanted something for myself. I wanted something. I was hoping
Yeah.
somebody else would do this event. But just before I started the event, I had finished a picture book in around 30 days. I think I had even done I had done like the story, the illustrations, and the finals in 30 days. I never got it published, but I did that in 30 days. So I know somebody else could do this in 30 days.
Smart Dummies, does it show some of the tips and tricks you use to kind of finish and craft your dummy in 30 days? Are there some neat shortcuts, or did you feel like it would be handy for illustrators to know how to be pushed into finishing their project in 30 days? Why are you holding it for the month span?
Just to get the basic dummy, so just like the drawings done in that amount of time. I show you how much I actually I show you like all the steps to go through before the event happens, kind of, and then while the event's going on, it's mostly different viewpoints for how to get your things done. I don't assign any posts to anybody really. I think I started assigning posts at the beginning, and then I found it was just easier, unless somebody wanted to be told what to write, just to let them write whatever they wanted. And they came up with some great things for me, probably better than what I could have, because I know a ton because I've been doing picture books for a while, but I still don't know everything. Great thing that was given to me last year was this. Allison Hertz made this. I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't. I will do a screen share. So you can see. Oh. Here we go. She did this, along with her post, she did this thumbnail template so that you can just start out and figure out where, just make little drawings so you can figure out what you're going to do for the entire event. And I'm not even sure what the question was anymore.
Well, this is a good, since you're on screen share, this would be a good time for you to delve into the format of Smart Dummies, which starts October 1st, and how it's going to work, maybe how it worked last year. What are the moving parts? What is the curriculum? How's it going to move through the month of October? What have you got in store for the participants? Fun stuff.
Okay, so basically last year, like I said, I set up everything and kind of had a list of what was going to happen. I think I put that list up again recently. Let's see. Here's your Google Hangout. Oh no, this is just a list of things that you would want for the event. And oh yeah, I did. Yeah, the pre-day. Kind of, this is kind of so you can have a schedule for yourself. Your schedule would definitely be different, but it's a good thing to have, to kind of have an idea where to go. So like for day one, you just want to doodle, and by day two, you can create your you probably want to get your thumbnails done by sorry, you probably want to get your thumbnails done by then. But really, if you can, you should probably have your story and your thumbnails done, and even maybe some pre-sketching done for your character designs, so that when you get into the event, all you are doing is working on just drawing that dummy, because it's about, they usually want between 24 to yes, 24 to 30 pages. And I think that most, from what I've heard, that most publishing places want you to have the more. I know I had, let's see, last year I had Ruben on, and is it Pink or?
That's how I pronounce it.
And he was saying that he had done tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of a 52-page book in 20 days. But it actually ended up getting cut to 40 pages. So it's something that you have to think about how many you want to do for yourself.
It's interesting you should say that, because we had Hazel Mitchell on the other day, and Hazel turned in this big, thick stack of illustrations of her dummy for Toby, knowing that it was going to be cut. But she wanted to work it out for herself, and she had it was almost like a graphic novel rather than a picture book. So it's interesting that you should mention that. She did the same thing.
Yeah, it's kind of, picture books are changing so much. When I wrote my first picture book, I think it was over 2,000 words, and now 500 is the maximum that they want. And then even then, if you have less than that, you're a lot better off. So there's just so much that's changing. But to go back to what we were saying before, by day 13, if almost halfway through the event, you want to get most of your drawings done. And then after you get the drawings done, the best thing to do, I find, is to stand back and analyze your drawings. Or if you don't have room in your house to stand back, take a picture of your drawings with your cell phone, because you can see so much that you're not doing. By about day 27, you want to have your finished spreads done, and then the rest of it, you want to polish those spreads up so they look clean.
Mira is on the event page with us. She says she keeps getting an error message when she tries to come into the to the control room booth. And so she is monitoring us, and she'll keep us in line. I'm going to try to, Mira, I'm going to try to send you one more link, and maybe this link will be a little better. And see if that can get you in. It's an abbreviated. Won't send it to you. I'll just post it right here on the page. Usually we're able to sort of figure out what the glitches are.
Before, yeah. This is just a
yeah, I can't, I don't want to test the link myself, Mira, because I've already got the Hangout happening, and I don't know what will happen if I pull up two Hangouts on my browser, and then I have to close out one of them, and I don't want to end the meeting. So does well, I'll go ahead and do it just because you got me curious now. I want to see what would happen if I test that link. Let's see how crazy it is.
Something explodes, then.
Yeah, it wants to start me on that meeting.
I see her.
And I'm not going to enter the meeting, but I got an invitation in. It says, "Do you want to join the Hangout?" And I said, "No."
There she is.
Guess what?
The second link worked, Mira.
It works, yeah.
Oh, good.
You can see my new splint works.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Hi, Jenny. Hi, Mark. Hi, everyone.
All right, so Mira, do you have you must have the live event page running on another tab. All right, so Mira, do you have your
I have both windows open.
All right, so close the speaker on the live event page. Close that, or silence it so we don't hear your audio, like that. Perfect. We still have one more with the computer on. Somebody else has their. You guys check your live event pages.
Oh, good.
Okay.
We did it.
Yay.
We solved it.
Horrible.
Show us your splint again, Mira. When are you going to get? When are you going to be well? When are you going to be better?
It would be this finger, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I'm just going to jump in because I've only got 10 minutes before someone's going to be knocking at the door. And I just want to say that Dani's event is a really fantastic event for illustrators because it's one thing to create portfolio pieces, but you want to have a dummy as well for several reasons. One, because you can include dummy pieces in your portfolio. And whether your dummy is accepted or not, it shows that you know the process. It shows that you know how to be professional, how to take a children's picture book manuscript from thumbnails to dummy to completed color finishes. And that's what editors, agents, and art directors need to see before they hire you. It's a huge investment, hiring an illustrator. And so it's really important for you as an illustrator to be able to convince them that you know what you're doing and that you're not a big risk, that you're a professional, that you've done this before, that you can show all these, you know, different aspects. And in Dani's Smart Dummies event, I'm going to be one of the guests. And I've made a handy-dandy worksheet of 7 secrets for you. And I'll also be discussing each of the secrets in that particular post related to composition, how to make fabulous compositions for an exciting, dynamic, and also professional dummy. And right now I'm in the midst of teaching our children's book, the craft and business of illustrating children's books. And I'm also working on a graphic novel course that's coming out that I'm very, very excited about. And I love supporting people like Dani that bring a lot to the industry and that help us all, you know, do wonderful work. And Dani's gathered a fantastic team of people to contribute. She's doing it all for free, which is fabulous. I do a bunch of stuff for free, but I can't do a whole month for free. It's just not
It's
an
a lot of
option.
work, isn't it? Yeah, it's a huge amount of work. Well,
So,
that's great, Mira. Yeah, and it's also very supportive of you to participate in these programs that pop up.
I love it. You know, Mark and I have known each other a long time, and we've always supported each other in any way that we can. And, you know, I think it's really important that as a community of children's book creatives, that we help each other, we support each other, and we create wonderful books that make a difference in the world, either by bringing more joy into the world, or by creating deeper meaning, or by promoting social justice, or whatever way that we do it. But it's really, we have an important mission in life. And I just also want to mention that I'm also donating to Dani's Smart Dummies event. She's going to have some prizes, and the Children's Book Academy is going to give one of the winners a choice of either a free Photoshop course, and it's a pretty fabulous course, or the Heroes Art Journey course, which is worth $149, and that course is a very process-oriented course. It's not
wonderful course. It's a wonderful course.
Not so much about making a dummy. You'll learn a lot about children's book illustrating, but it's about fine art, multicultural art, spiritual art, children's book art, and our personal journeys as creatives in overcoming critical inner voices and claiming our power and all sorts of things like that. So I'm going to go, but Dani, congratulations on doing Not sure who Traci is.
That was Vesper. Traci's an illustrator. Traci, have you met Mira? This is you guys should get to know each other. She's in New York City.
Oh, hi, Traci.
Hello.
Illustrator.
I'm in Sacramento, which is not my place, but it's my place for right now while my 90-year-old mom is here. So.
Oh, wow. Mira, you do encourage illustrators then to include in their portfolio, if not a full dummy, a partial dummy, but a dummy nonetheless. That's a...
Absolutely, if it's well done.
If it's well done.
If it's not well done, it works against you. So that means that every spread needs to be, you know, innovative in some way or move the story forward in some wonderful way. You know, in the old days, you could do really funky illustrations and just have 2 really good ones. But these days, you need to have more really good ones. You can have some funky ones. People that are really established, they can just do scribbles and they get the thumbs up. But if you're new and you're breaking in, you want to put your best foot forward. But at the same time, you don't want it totally finished. You don't want, you know, a dummy full of color samples, because then it's going to put them off and they're going to think, oh, she's not going to, or he's not going to want to make all the changes needed.
Right. You want to invite them into the co-create with you and be feel like they're part of the process.
Yeah, so I just want to ask Dani something. Are you really excited about this? Isn't it fabulous?
Oh my goodness, I've got so many good, like I didn't think I could do it for a second year, but I've got so many good people. Like I've already, like I get to see all the posts first, so I'm lucky. But
yeah, I know a bunch of my students will be participating, and that makes me really happy because they'll tell you I'm a little bit of a pushy teacher in that I want them to excel and to do really, really well. And I think your event will help because the more they know about creating wonderful dummies, the better.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Mira, for being with us and popping in today. It's always great seeing you, and you always live in any event for sure. And so well said. You have always have such keen insights and great comments. And very encouraging to creators. So your website, your childrensbookacademy.com, and then also your Facebook page. You have Children's Book Creatives. Is that a good place for people to find you on Facebook?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I just want to encourage people to sign up for our mailing list so that you get first dibs on free webinars and early bird specials and first notice on the graphic novel course, or we've got a writing picture books course and also a middle grade course. We've got all sorts of exciting things.
Photoshop course for illustrators that's fabulous. And
yeah, Mark's taken a bunch of our courses.
So it's a wonderful resource for illustrators. So save you having to pay out $100,000 to go to art school for 4 years. If you take enough of these different courses online, you can.
Yeah, and I used to teach in art school, so
yeah, I know.
I know how it is.
How it works.
I'm going to check out, but Dani, I'm really excited for you too, and I'm excited for everyone that's going to be part of this. So thank you, and the finger says goodbye.
Goodbye, finger.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, and Dani, great.
Thanks, Mira. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, that was fun.
yeah.
It's always great having Mira on. All right. Well, Dani, you were showing us though how Smart Dummies is going to work starting in October.
Yeah.
And
yeah. So basically, I went through that little post there, and throughout the event, on those days, let's see. Let me see if I can pull up those days again. On these different days, after the post, I'll post where you should be at this time, so that you don't have to get stressed out because you don't know what you're doing next.
Okay.
So I add a little bit of my own at the end of some of the posts, even though I don't like doing that, but still I kind of feel like people need to be on track somehow. So I've added a little bit where I think that if I were working on it, where I'd want to be.
Oh, neat. Okay.
And of course, if you're ahead, then that's great.
That's always good.
Yeah, then you have time to polish, then you have time to redo a drawing. So that's why
at the end of the, oh, excuse me, go ahead.
Oh, that's why I say have your if you can get your character designs done before you start the event, that's so much better than just starting. Especially don't start with the story. Like last year, I was trying to do the event myself along with everyone else, and I had an idea for a story, and I didn't have anything else other than the idea for the story, and it just ended up being a
You
total
felt behind all the time.
it was horrible.
You need to have a starting point, definitely.
Yeah, a good starting point.
Yes.
Traci, what was your experience of going through that sort of rigorous, tight schedule?
It's good to have a tight deadline, I find, because I have a problem finishing things. It's hard to just do.
Yeah.
So this gives a good time frame to just get in, doodle, sketch. Don't worry about perfection. So it's really not about perfection, especially when you're starting out the process. So it's good to have a chance to play around with it, but then to have that deadline to sort of force you to get stuff done, to get your butt in the chair and do it. Sometimes that's the hardest part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Some outside influence saying sit.
Yes. Do it now.
We're expecting this from you. Yeah. Of you. Yeah. Well, now, so you have a lot of guest posters throughout the month. You want to tell us the lineup, Dani, or how?
Let's see. I will not be able to remember unless I look.
Yeah, because there's so many of them. And then we also want to hear about all the goodies you're giving away during
I'll just
the month of October.
Let's see. Who do I have this year? I will put it on the screen share again so that you can,
Yeah. Okay.
you can see who we have. We have. Oh, I don't know if I want to pronounce all these names.
Well, how about the ones you can pronounce, or you want to try to pronounce?
Well, I'm sorry if I mess up anybody's name. How about that? There's Amanda Erb, Carter Higgins.
Now, who are they? Or you give a sense of who they are, who these people are, if you can. Just with one word or something.
They're just
People in the kidlit space, illustrators.
Yeah, most of these are illustrators. I guess I'll point out the ones that aren't so much illustrators. Carter Higgins, or I'll point out the ones that have maybe a little bit more to say, or that I can remember.
what their deal was. Okay.
Carter Higgins does this wonderful design of the picture book. Let's see, I can open.
Oh, she's she also, I think.
Yeah, this is like how I found out about her, was through her blog, and it's just
a wonderful blog. Yeah.
Yeah, it talks about so many great things about the picture book world, and I don't know what she meant it to be, but it's just a wonderful resource for illustrators to go in, or even writers to go in and see how these picture books are made. And I could never do this. I don't even do book reviews, because just to be able to say all this about a picture book or even an artwork, I would just be stumbling on my words. So I've got Christina Forche, Claire London, David. Oh gosh, David, I don't know. Is it Huyck? Or I'm sorry, David.
Can't help you.
Dennis.
Yeah.
Maybe Dennis Valenti. David. He just did an illustration for the diversity in picture books, and that's an absolutely wonderful illustration. But I don't have it like on a link that I can directly link you to. But he just did this one about diversity in picture books. And I'm going to write a post about that soon before the event, because it's very important to not just have white characters. I mean, of course, you can see the color of my skin, but it's very important to have characters that aren't white, characters that have handicaps, characters from all different backgrounds, because these are what kids see. And if you don't put if the kids can't see themselves in the book, then it's really disheartening for them. Because I've had a few things like that when I was a kid, and nowhere near as much as some kids, but where I don't see myself in this picture book, or even like when I was a kid playing video games, all the characters were male. So just not having that there is kind of sad. So let me get to this list. Okay. Let's see. Dennis Linty, he does picture book apps for Fufu kids, and I thought that was kind of an interesting thing for people to see, because after you get your picture book done, that's something that you might want to look into. Diana Turley-Dono, Gina Perry, Grace Sanford, Hazel Mitchell, who you have already done it was kind of a happy accident that we both had her.
Yeah, well, she was on her book blog tour, wasn't she? And she.
Yeah. So
really great opportunity to get to know more about her and her work through all the posts she did. And
I told her about this event. I said it's going to be a little bit later than what you're doing all these things for, but this is where I get all the people who come to my blog is at that time. So yeah, it's good for me to post that time than any other time of the year. Jake Parker, Jeannie Ho, Jessica Courtney Tickle, Josh Nash, Joyce Stewart-Wald, Julie Murphy, who I promised to do a what was it? I promised to do an interview with her on my blog, and it was going to be in October at the beginning of the year, and I didn't know Dummies is going to be pushed over a month. So it was kind of nice that I got to have her on there at that time. Julie Rowan Zoch, who I've known for a few years, we did a awful blog hop together where we showed off our old picture books that we had done when we were kids. That was years ago. Or maybe not that many years ago. It just feels like it was forever ago. Lauren Gallegos, Lena Maslow. You're there.
I think I'm guest posting about gesture drawing.
Yes. Mike Hurad, Mira. Oh, how do you say her last name? Reisberg, is it?
Reisberg, Mira Reisberg, yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, and both you and Mira are giving away great courses. So
Mira said what she's giving away. I'm giving away a year-long subscription to Guest Group Critiques, which is a monthly program we've got with guest instructors. It's guest instruction, guest critique, group critique, and then inspiration every month in a live event, and then you get the recordings and all the replays we've ever done. So you're going to give away one of those courses, one subscription, and then we're also giving away the full course, the Make Your Marks and Splashes online course on children's book illustration too. So yes. Two separate things.
And then, so that's great. Like 2 courses are fantastic. Pretty amazing. And then Nick Patton, he does the picture,
yeah.
And I think he's going in with all the wonders. I hadn't been on his website for a while, and then noticed that they're kind of moving things over to that. So
they're going to merge. They're going to form.
I'm not sure. I forgot to ask.
Right now, it's the picture booking blog, podcast rather.
Yeah, but he
interviews great people.
Oh yeah, and so he put together a podcast for me. So
okay, good.
Yeah, with all the different things. I think it was like all the the troubles that people were having or something. It's just a really great post, and
it's going to air in October, or has it already aired?
No, it's going to air, and we're going to put it on the blog. And I decided that it's going to be on my birthday. It's a 50% for me, so that October 16th is that podcast. Because it just has so many great people on it.
Yeah.
Patricia Pinsk. I'm sorry, Patricia, if I didn't say your last name right. She is another person who is coming back for a second year. and she's in my SCBWI group with me, and she has just such fantastic insight. She's so smart about some of these online things, that some things I know, some things I don't, and she does a lot of. If you're a part of the SCBWI, you should go back and look at some of the things that she's written for them, because she just has such great insight to things that are on the internet and things that writers and illustrators don't normally want to think about, but they have to think about. So it's really interesting. She's going to be talking about contracts. So I think her post is going to be towards the end of the event. Rebecca Jordan Glum, Rebecca Bagley, Selena Alco, Shirley Bennett, Tim Egan could not do a post, but he's donating a prize. Tom Hurd, Tony Yulee, and then there's Traci VanWagoner. Or is it Wagoner?
VanWagoner. VanWagoner, yes.
And I spelled your name wrong last year, and I think I had it Vaughn Wagoner.
That's possible. I've gotten used to my name being spelled all kinds of ways, so that's okay.
And as you can tell, I'm terrible at pronouncing names, so I apologize.
You pull all these people together, and which is really wonderful. You know, some questions are coming in on the page, Dani, and they're kind of like questions like, where do we find these people? Do you have links to their various websites on your blog or on your page yet, or will they be able to?
All of them. Go to the registration page, and I believe I've got all of them. Just
let's put the link to the registration page up. Would you put it in the box in our little chat box, and then I'll post it to the page itself.
Okay, here we go.
And yeah, so you'll just go to the Smart Dummies.
That's
website.
A Facebook group. That's a Facebook group. Sorry.
That works too. We'll post we can post that too.
That's good too. But here.
All right. So let me post that. I'll take that. Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Is that?
Yeah, that's good. No, that's good.
Okay.
I can get my cursor to do it. I'll post them both.
You don't even have to be a part of the event to be in the Facebook group. You just have to be willing, or not willing. You just have to want to have an interest in creating dummies. So if you don't make it to the event, or we don't kick anybody out unless they're advertising, Ray-Ban sunglasses or something, which hasn't happened yet. But
that's very nice. You have a designated bouncer. Well.
Me for right now. I just, but basically, anybody in the group, I've said this before, but anybody in the group can just let other people in the group just approve the post for now, or not the post, but approve the admission to the group. So if you see your friend or something, or if you see people that want to come in, just go ahead and click it if I don't get a chance to allow them in.
Okay. Now the links we've just put out there, there's one is to the Facebook group, which you've just said anybody can come on in and get vouched by another. If you vouch somebody, you can bring them into, and then the second link, you can just join, huh?
Yeah, they can just join. Just anybody you think it doesn't look like somebody who's going to spam you. Yeah, just let them in.
And the second link that we just posted is to the registration page for Smart Dummies, and then through there you can. Is that right, Dani? And
yes, be sure to post on there, because this is my list for this is what gets you in the group. The Facebook
there's lots of fun conversations already happening. Yeah.
The Facebook page and everyone else, no, just you're not registered until you. And only do it once. I'm going to have to delete some of the extra posts, but only do it once. Put your
introductory post.
Introductory post on there, and include your web page or something, because just so I can find you if you do win a prize. Some people like most people I know already somewhat, so I can find their web page. But other people, if you don't have a web page, or if I don't have a way to get a hold of you, then you're not going to get a prize just because.
And then once you go there to this to Dani's site, then you can kind of look around and see the guest posts and see the links to the various websites and resources that she's compiled for you. So that would be a good way to find the people rather than us giving out individual links to illustrators.
Yeah, they're all
today on the page. They're all there. So
yeah,
you can research everybody there and it'll help your appreciation of their posts when they are posting. Or okay, great. Wow, that's a lot of work putting that whole website together, Dani.
Yeah.
I know what you spend all your free time doing.
Yes, and then I have 2 kids, so.
And when you're not parenting, yeah.
Yeah. So let me go.
Now, for some people that, excuse me, but for some people we should have introduced it this way too, who don't even know what we're talking about when we're talking about children's book dummies. Can you give a little thumbnail definition to what a dummy is? Or
it's just basically, it's kind of weird because.
We'll ask for Traci's definition too here in a second.
Yeah, it's different a little bit different for everyone. It's just basically, like, here's some of my thumbnails. I don't know if you can see these at all, but this is kind of thumbnails for a dummy that I did before. And basically, they're usually quick drawings. Some people do them tighter, some people do them really loose, and it's just the drawings that you would be doing for the illustrations.
Okay, so the dummy is one step after the thumbnails. Is that right? And it's
pretty much, yeah. It's just to give the agents and editors an idea of that you know how to make this dummy, and they've got to be tight enough that they can see what you want, but they want them loose enough so that if there's any changes to make, you can make those changes. And then usually when you submit this for the event, I just do the drawings is what I say. Just the
focusing on the art. Okay.
Then do the I say do the finals. They usually want, from what I've heard, they want 2 to 3 spreads, which is that would be 6 pages of your work. Finals, as in terms of full color and. That's what I've heard. Other people will tell you differently, but
that's the rest of them line drawings, pretty much. Or?
Yeah, line drawings, basically. I think Nina had a question about does it have to be drawings? And no, it doesn't have to be drawings. If you want to do like a loose painting, if you want to do a collage, as long as you're not using anybody else's work to make the collage. If you were to cut up magazines small enough so you wouldn't be able to recognize anything and just like use the colors, you could do that.
But it's as Mira was kind of alluding a little while ago, it's your vehicle for selling your proposal. The dummy is your sales piece. Yes. So it really has to be an eyebrow raiser, or really have a kind of a real positive impact. It's more than just your own personal blueprint of what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So it has to have some oomph to it, and that page turn quality. And that's why you're doing a dummy, too, as I understand it. Is the dynamic is the page turn, the experience of turning the page and being surprised, or having the suspense cleared up, and then all those dynamics that go to the page turn. Traci, what about your definition of dummy? Do you have a working, since you've made several too?
I've made several, yes. It's really the best way to show your idea as a picture book. Like you said, the text breaks, how the page turns are going to work. And a lot of times while I'm working on a dummy book of a book I've written, you will realize you don't need all the words sometimes, because it's a marriage between the art and the writing, and a dummy book really helps you hone that. And it's good to try and show different angles, different points of view. You get in close, you get in far away. You need to find the best way to tell your story, to get the characters across, to get that exciting page turn, and to involve the reader. So it's the best way to get your story into a visual form that you can then send to an agent or an editor. Say, this is the book that I would love to see out there for kids to be reading.
Yeah, that's good. And you know, it's every manufacturer has to make a prototype of their product to get investors or like Kickstarter.
That's a good way to put
and
it.
so it is your creator's prototype.
Exactly.
The architect has to do it for a building they're going to build
Yep.
for a client, and so we're no different. We're not special, but
Right.
you've got to make the project real to the minds of the buyer or the client, so
Exactly.
or the agent. Cool. Yeah.
So did you want me to go through the prizes?
Yeah, I think that would be great. And I'm going to post the registration link one more time on the page while you're doing that.
Okay. let's
Dani.
see. Okay.
And then we'll have time maybe for just a little bit of Q&A, and if there is any, and then we'll
I do
wrap
have.
up.
I also have some testimonials from last year. If you want to go through those quickly too.
Sure. Whatever you think you can squeeze into the next 10 minutes.
Okay. We'll do this quickly. So Mira has the Photoshop or Heroes Art Journey course, and you guys have heard about that, but I'm going to say it again. And Mark's got the Make Your Marks and Splashes course and a 1-year subscription to the guest group critiques. Tim Egan is sending me a drawing that I will send out to one lucky winner. Hazel will be sending be giving a review copy of Toby to someone. Tony Yuli has these wonderful, absolutely wonderful torn tissue illustrations on her website, and she's going to be giving out one of those to one lucky winner. Lauren Gallegos is giving her book, The Egg Thief. I think she did the illustrations for that. I can't remember if she did the drawings too. Or not, the writing too for that. David's going to be giving out If Kids Ruled the World and Manners Are Not for Monkeys. Tom Hurd is giving out Get the Wiggles Out and Let's Cooperate books. Let's Cooperate books and a signed A4 print. And Gina Perry is giving out Ring Around the Rosie and an original Buddha painting on paper. So lots of good prizes. Some of the prizes may not be, unfortunately, they might not be able to send them all around the world. So there are a few that I'll write on there if they've limited the shipping on those. Just because some of it can be more expensive than the actual prize if the shipping's not limited a little bit. And here, let's go over here to Doreen Lepore. She said that I thought it was a very motivating and clarifying experience last year. And these are some of her illustrations that she did.
Hey, Doreen.
And here's Susu Leclerc. She did, this is some of the work that she did last time. This is just a line drawing. And her final is here. And she said to me, Smart Dummies gave me many tools I needed to complete my very first dummy. I had no clue to what I was supposed to do, but Dani was very helpful, and I finally figured it out. I thought the articles were a good start to think about the whole process, and the giveaways blew my mind. People were very generous. And here's Marla, sorry, is it Lesage or Lesage? I am so bad with names, I'm sorry. I learned I had extra motivation to power through and complete. I swapped critiques, which was helpful. I did finish my dummy, but I didn't feel it was submission ready, so I sat on it into a conference this spring. Got some fantastic feedback on my manuscript and dummy from Ruth. Is her name O or Oe?
Ohi, I think.
Okay. Her advice really helped me bring it to the next level. I'm hoping to finish up my revisions this month so I can work on the dummy for Work in Progress 2 for October. Work in Progress 2 is mostly storyboarded already. And I've got a couple of illustrations. She sent me her thumbnails. And this cute book cover here that she's working, or I think it's the book cover, and she's got some painting, trying to figure out what colors to use. And then this is, she's got this one, I know for a fact, on her webpage. So if you go to her webpage, it's her webpage is right here. So if you go to her webpage, you can see what she's done. She's also on Facebook and in the group. So, okay, I will take it off my screen share, and we can do some questions.
Okay, so we got just about 5 minutes for questions. If anybody would like to talk to Dani or Traci or me.
Dani, I think while we're talking, I will add one more prize to the file. I will add a critique for a dummy book at the end of the month if somebody's interested.
Oh, yay.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Great. New York City working illustrator.
Right. If we just get if I get a PDF of it, then I can just give a quick run through and notes, ideas, thoughts.
That's great. That's great.
I've got a question for the two of you about agents. You know, once upon a time, agents looked at manuscripts, but now, do you find most of the kidlit agents being just receptive and expecting from author-illustrators a dummy, which suddenly puts the agent in the position of evaluating the illustrations as well as the text? And are they just, is that commonplace everyday occurrence for them to be receiving?
My experience, I'm kind of diving back into this some more, is that most of the agents are interested in writer-illustrators.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah. I think it's harder for just picture book writers to get an agent. I'm not sure why. I think it's the
combo double threat
sell both.
is more attractive to them now.
Yeah.
And of course we're judged by our weakest pieces, you know, and the weakest portion of our submission. And I'm wondering, you know, if a really lovely dummy comes in with these beautiful sketches and illustrations and finals, and not such a great story, would they keep you in mind as do they also represent illustrators on their own, and could they package you with somebody else at some point in their repertoire? Or
I think people who are just illustrators, unless they have an idea for a book, I think they generally go with art reps as opposed to an agent. And actually, I think it's easier for people. I mean, it's easier probably to get an agent to be an author illustrator, but it's probably easier if you're not thinking of both the writing and the illustration part every time, because that's a lot of work. I'm sure
a lot of work
for them. Okay, yeah, interesting point.
It takes.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it takes me probably 10 times longer to finish a whole dummy and everything than it does just to write the story.
Sure, the illustrations are always more. I mean, that's months and months and months.
Yeah, yeah.
And we all know writers who've, you know, actually knocked off their picture book manuscript in an afternoon, and we're all jealous of them. But some people do that. They actually.
Well, I think I can knock a manuscript out in an afternoon. I just don't know how good that will be.
Right.
Somebody else may not want to read it. So.
Stacy. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I can't remember who said it, but they said that nobody really wants to know what the real answer is to writing a picture or writing a story. I think she did novels, this person, but what she said was that what it takes is how it takes your whole life to write that story. It's not just, I mean, maybe you're shooting it out within half an hour, 20 minutes, but it took you your whole life to get that story. So I don't want
lifetime of experience.
I don't want to say anything bad about writers, because it is so hard to get to that point.
That's a really good distinction. That's a really great point, Dani. And
to have a very good story that within 500 to 800 words. That's
it's an art. It's the highest art form. You know,
it seems like easy, but that's not an easy task.
Stacy's asking. I would like to know how to do a dummy with no writer. So yeah, that's a lot of the illustrators that want to participate. They don't have a clue as to how to do a dummy even as an exercise because they don't know about this business of finding a story or finding text. What do you recommend to them?
Well, a lot of people, I know, I had this great, I can't think of his name right now, but I had this great teacher who he would often say to use old fairy tales and that kind of thing because you don't have, there's no copyright on those, so you could use those. Or if you have the ideas for the story, you come up with a story and pictures, and then do come up with the thumbnails. You don't have to have a story. Some people
like a storyboard with just pictures.
Storyboard with just pictures, and you can maybe write some if it helps you to write those things down, like write the story down. That's okay, but you don't have to polish that. It's just the pictures. Just try to get down the pictures and
that's a great
pictures.
If you have a concept book, you could just put concepts big, little, and just show fun pictures to There's always alphabet books, nursery rhymes, old songs.
Yeah, there's several picture books that are just wordless picture books.
Plenty of wordless story picture books. David
Wiesner does, I think his name's Wiesner. It does a lot of really great.
Oh yeah.
Just illustrations that tell the story.
Yeah, yeah. Your letters from summer camp to your mom when you were 7 years old. I mean, any you can do any. You can find anything could work as a vehicle for you to illustrate. And there's new versions of Little Red Riding Hood published every year, right? Isn't that crazy? They just don't get tired of that.
Tara Lazar, she recently did one. Little Red
Gliding Hood. Yeah,
that was it. That was
really, too. Yeah,
it's different than the book, and
she made up her own story about Little Red Riding Hood, and it's fair.
Yeah, and or you could do something. I mean, you don't have to even follow the old stories either. Just come up with your own ending. If you have a better ending, use that.
That's right.
Yeah, fractured fairy tales are always fun.
Oh yeah,
fractured fairy tales. And if you want to give Cinderella a different ending, if you have a better idea, yeah. Yep. Elsa is asking, should the dummy be exactly like a sample of the book, or can they be loose leaf drawing on 8x10 paper?
It depends on the agent really to what they want, because like I said, I use typing. I just use just paper for my printer, and I use that. I use the cheap paper to come up with my first illustrations. I haven't been able to sell a dummy yet, so I don't know exactly what they're looking for, but I have seen the sketches that people do, and some of the finals are different from that dummy drawings, and it really depends on them what they will accept, how tight you have to have those drawings. But I think you just have to find the right people.
And would you staple your pictures when you finish them on the 8x10 sheets into a book format?
I probably would just
paperclip or put them in a PDF.
I probably put them in a PDF. Well, most people are accepting everything online, so you can just put it all in a PDF and send it out. I've got Adobe Illustrator or InDesign. And that's
if you don't have InDesign, if you're a little lower tech than that, or Photoshop, I just discovered a website the other night. It's called JPEG to PDF.com, and it's just a little online converter. You can just upload your images, and it will put them all in one PDF document.
That's good.
I mean, it's a low rent solution. It's free.
Yeah, I'll add that to the list of the resources I have for the event, so people can go on there and.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's great.
You don't need to buy something fancy if you don't have to.
Okay, guys, we've had a really good meeting, and we've covered a lot of ground. And if you have further questions, I suspect Dani will answer them. If you want to if things occur to you or questions occur to you, you can go ahead and leave them right there in the comments on this Google event page, and we'll check it for questions, and we'll try to answer them there on the page. And we'll leave this up for a month or so going into October, so everybody can get plenty of information about Smart Dummies 2016.
Before we go, Let's see, what is it? I'm going to do screen share again because,
Okay.
Hi, Tracy. Because I need your help getting the word out on the event. So let's see. You can win a $20 Amazon gift card up through the end of the registration for the event, which is October 8th. So please, this is on the giveaway. And just go on there and please help me get the word out. And also, I do have a shop, and that's just to help me to keep the Smart Dummies going. So I'm not spending all this money out of pocket to get it going, and so it will continue in future generations.
Great. And do you have any little graphics for us to put on our blogs with the Smart Dummy Owl or anything for it?
Yeah, you can
click on it. They can get a link. I mean,
yeah, just when you go to register, I've got get your official badge here, so you can use those as you see fit.
Nice. Okay, good. Well, the website was jpeg to pdf.com, I think, and you can also just search how do you turn a JPEG into a PDF, and there's different options out there in addition to Photoshop and InDesign.
Don't be afraid to bug me, like on Facebook or wherever you see me on Twitter. Or whatever.
Yeah. Friend these guys on Facebook. Me too.
Sometimes it's hard to go through and friend everybody in the group. So just send me a friend link and send me messages, because there's a lot of people on Facebook. So I get lost. So
and don't forget the Facebook page, and I'll leave that link at the end of the program. The Facebook page is come on in and say hi, and that's a great way to stay on top of things going on with the Dummies Challenge. Let's publicly say goodbye and thank you to Dani for a great presentation of her program, and Traci for being wonderful backup support from the East Coast.
Yes, thank you so much for being here to support me.
And we'll leave the replay up, and I think it'll be fully viewable as soon as we're done. There's also a way to adjust the resolution up to high definition if you go to the little settings icon under the video and move it up to 720p. You can watch this in high def, as good as we can get with Google Hangouts. And we'll stop the broadcast and say good afternoon, everybody. Have a great weekend, and hope we all run into each other.
Bye, everybody.
Run into each other soon. Okay.
Good luck with your dummy books.
Yes, good luck.
Good luck, everybody. Talk soon.